So yeah, the volume on this thing is pretty low. There's two speaker outputs and a single 1/4 inch or 6.5 millimeter stereo input. And it's fused. There is a fuse. It's got this board here, which I blew up yesterday because I hit it with 24 volts. I didn't realize this board only takes 12 volts. So there's some extra wiring here, which is, it's for when the replacement board arrives. I'll just cut that, plop that in there and then plug some stuff in and hopefully get it working with a minimal effort. So we got a pink LED, there's a single stereo volume pot. I'm getting the ground for the LED off of the pot. And then these holes are cut for the speaker. Oh, this toggle here is to enable the... Huh? Oh, I turned the volume down. Yeah. This toggle here is to enable the EQ board, which is it's an NJM 2150 BBE Sonic Stop Aphex Oral Exciter. It's these, they sell them for like $2, $5 shipped. And what it does when you kick it on, it's got a bypass or an engage, and it boosts the treble and the bass. So there's two 12-volt battery packs, 3 by 3, like, and those are wired in to provide 24 volts. And the thing is that I ran all 24 volts to the amp board, which the amp board likes it, and it deserves 24 volts. But the EQ only wants 12, and I didn't think of that. So really what you need to do is have just 3 of them powering the amp board, and then all 6 powering them. So 3 of these batteries will drain a little faster than the other 3, but it won't matter. These will last a long time. This is just holding the washer, holding on the wiring. Originally the switch that I had was a single switch. This is a double. That's why it has 6 connectors. And that enabled me to throw 24 and 12 at 2 different places. So yeah, it's pretty basic. I mean, when the new board comes in, I'll have to reroute the input. Right now the input is going right into this board underneath. I'm not using the connector, just soldering right onto the board. When the new one comes in, this board, I'll probably replace this over here and then take this wire and have that go to the output of the EQ board. But I got a single ground coming out of the power connector here because I soldered the power connector onto the bottom. I prefer doing that. These are the speaker terminals. I am using those, and they're running out to these spring-loaded terminals. So the idea behind this is we could take this with us wherever, and it's got an EQ. So you come in through the back with this connector. Because using a smaller connector, they're just kind of like if you let's say you stub it with your toe, it'll bend. The smaller connector, these are more beefy. So I use an adapter, and then the speaker outs. So the idea behind this one is it's 50 by 2, 50 watts. Is what it's rated at. Now I'm running at 22 volts instead of 24, and it's 8 ohm. So maximum is probably more like 30 or something per channel. But yeah, this will be part of our micro rig, as I'm calling it, mini rig. I got this realistic Minimus 7, just a single one. There was only one of these speakers at the Goodwill, which was why they didn't charge us much for it. But this is a really good speaker. It's rated at 40 watts max, so it's perfect. And then this Infinity speaker, and I'm putting my head down there, I can't hear the difference between the two. But the idea is I can run a little guitar processor, something like this or whatever, and then play the guitar through this. because these things with the amp modeling, they like having a speaker that is more full range, meaning it has a tweeter and a woofer. So when we go to the park, I've got like this one, and this one pairs up with a much larger speaker. This one Energy brand speaker, which these are made in Canada. It's got a really good tweeter and real big heavy magnet on the tweeter. Really cool tweeter. So this one has a built-in board, and it's throwing the output out of here. These two are inputs. It's got 6.35 and 1/4 inch, so whatever you want. You turn it on here, and then you run this other cable over to we have a variety of used speakers we've gotten here from the Goodwill. So the one that we want to use is actually the same brand. It's an Energy, and it's got a really cool woofer with a nice tweeter, and that's a 6.5 inch. So we'll stack that and run our backing tracks, the drums, through this pair. And then for me, I'll be playing the guitar, so I'll probably run my old Zoom G1. I just made all new patches for that for the new material. 24 songs. So I'll be using that one to go through this and play my guitar through these speakers, and then my wife has a sound bar. I guess I could go grab that real quick and you guys can see it in case you haven't. I've made a few videos talking about this so far. This is our mini or micro rig that enables us to just grab a smaller amount of gear that's going to be not so loud. Like if we wanted to go to Grandma's house and say, hey Grandma, do you want to hear us play 24 songs? We could just bring in rather than bring in the 600 watt PA, we could bring in stuff like this. So this one has a double pair of two battery connectors. You put the batteries in there, plug this in here. It's got, again, dual out inputs, small and large, and then a golden Marshall knob, which is always good. And then these woofers here. So this would be something my old lady would play her bass through. I was thinking about like putting, this has the Velcro tabs, if I could maybe put a pair of Velcro tabs on there and then just stick this on here, and then she could, we could make some bass patches for that. They keep it simple. But she's got a B3, a Zoom B3 that sounds really good, so I don't know if I'm going to do that.
It's a B1.
Yeah, you got a B1 and a B2. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it works out for the bass processing. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to end up trying this. It certainly would work. It would be like we would need to run an extension cable from, and this one's actually mono. I thought it was stereo. It's way it's wired up. It's a mono amp board. So, but I mean, do you need stereo bass? I mean, come on. So yeah, it would be like the guitar would plug in here, and then you'd have one patch cable going down here. So that's the mini rig. We're waiting for a replacement EQ board to come in, because like I said, when I built it the first time, I forgot that like I've been building these, like adding preamp boards in between the MP3 decoders for our backing tracks. Like this is a new one, and this is 12 volts. So when I put the MJM 2150 in here and turned it on, it worked fine. It didn't blow up. Like this one is 24 volts, and I completely forgot, like, hey, that board, its maximum voltages is 12 volts. So I hit it with 24 and blew it up. And then when I first picked up the LED, it's this pink LED. I really like the way that pink LED looks. I love those pink LEDs. And I ran it, I completely didn't think to put a current limited resistor for the LED, so I smoked. And instead of having it hooked up to the 12 volt tab, I had it hooked up to the 24 volt tab. So I was like, the LED's not working, and I didn't see a flash. Usually if you overvolt an LED, you'll see like a flash when it dies. And it, of course I didn't. I like not only was there no current limiting resistor, but I hit it with 24 volts instead of 12. So this is the mini rig. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment or not. And I will see you guys around soon.